Welcome back to Timeless Messages from the Ching. This is Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. So if you find this message in 2 years or 10 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, it doesn't matter. It's a timeless message. Your divine self, your higher self, your creator, your angels, and your spirit guides have directed you here. And the question I'm asking today is, what are the most beneficial messages for the viewer at the time that they find this video? What are the most beneficial messages for the viewer at the time they view this video? So, without further ado, I'm going to shake the silver dollars for the most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they view this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they view this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they view this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they view this video. Okay. Okay, the top is Ching, heaven, top trigram, and the bottom is sun. Number 44, I believe that is coming to meet. So if you would like to rest your eyes and just take a few deep breaths and think about where you're at right now in your current life situation and listen to these messages and how they may relate to your current experience. So number 44, coming to meet the creative heaven and the gentle wind below. This hexagram indicates a situation in which the principle of darkness, after having been eliminated strongly and unexpectedly, comes back again from within and below. Of its own accord, the female principle comes to meet the male. It is an unfavorable and dangerous situation, and we must understand and promptly prevent the possible consequences. This hexagram is linked with the 5th month, June and July, because at the summer solstice, the principle of darkness gradually becomes ascendant again. The judgment coming to meet the maiden is powerful. One should not marry such a maiden. The rise of the inferior element is pictured here in the image of a bold girl who lightly surrenders herself and thus seizes power. This would not be possible if the strong and light-giving element had not in turn come halfway. The inferior thing seems so harmless and inviting that a person delights in it. It looks so small and weak that this person imagines they may dally with it and come to no harm. The inferior person rises only because the superior person does not regard the inferior person as dangerous, and so lends that person power. If the inferior person were resisted from the very beginning, this person could never gain influence. The time of coming to meet is important in still another way, although, as a general rule, the weak should not come to meet the strong. There are times when this has great significance. When heaven and earth come to meet each other, all creatures prosper. When a prince and his official come to meet each other, the world is put in order. It is necessary for elements that are predestined to be joined and mutually dependent to come to meet one another halfway. But this coming together must be free of dishonest, ulterior motives. Otherwise, harm will result. The image under heaven, the wind, the image of coming to meet. Thus does the prince act when dispersing his or her commands. Well, I suppose the ruler. Thus does the ruler act when dispersing their commands and proclaiming them to the four quarters of heaven. The situation here resembles that in hexagram 20, Quan, contemplation. In the latter, the wind blows over the earth. In this hexagram, it blows under heaven. In both cases, it goes everywhere. There, in that hexagram, the wind is on the earth and symbolizes the ruler, taking note of the conditions in the kingdom. Here, the wind blows from above and symbolizes the influence exercised by the ruler through their commands. Heaven is far from the things on earth, but it sets them in motion by means of the wind. The ruler is far from the people, but the ruler sets them in motion by means of their commands and decrees. So, interpreting this hexagram, coming to meet is after breakthrough and resoluteness, and coming to meet is just before gathering together. Coming to meet describes a situation in which darkness, something negative, after having been eliminated, furtively or strongly, and unexpectedly comes back again. This is the darkness that they're referring to, this yin line that has come down to the bottom. It begins to try to exert its influence upon the other strong lines. It talks about the detriment of the female principle, the yin principle here, coming to meet the male principle or the yang principle. So this is, paints a picture of an unfavorable and dangerous situation, and the person who is considering this needs to understand this particular danger and prevent the possible consequences. This could be manifested, let's say you've left a relationship, or you've left a friend, or you're no longer in a particular work experience that was toxic. Something negative that you'd gotten out of perhaps maybe coming back to revisit you. But it's important that you remember that this situation, you left this situation, this person, this employment, whatever this situation or description works for you, you left it for a reason. Because it didn't work for you, it wasn't positive, and it's important for you to bear that in mind so that you don't come back to it thinking that it's going to be better. There is a danger here that the hexagram is describing. Try to see things truly as they are rather than how you might like them to be, and you will move in a better direction. If you see with rose-colored glasses and think, oh, well, maybe we can get things better this time. This person and I, or this situation and I, this work experience and I, this project, whatever it is. Don't look at things from the perspective of how they might be able to be. Look at things from the perspective of how exactly they are and have been influencing you in negative ways in the past. So the idea of a darkness, a negativity, gradually becoming ascendant or rising again in your life. It talks about a female, a maiden that's powerful, and that one should not marry such a maiden. Again, we have to take into consideration this could be either gender. It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman or a maiden. But it is talking about a rise of an inferior element pictured here. And it describes it as a bold girl who lightly surrenders herself and thus seizes power. This could be any gender, though. A bold person, girl or man, man or woman, who surrenders themselves lightly and thus seizes power. And the important thing is that you do not disregard the idea that this person or this situation brings danger and negativity in your direction. So you, being the strong and light-giving element, if you don't meet this negativity halfway, then this inferior thing or person will not be able to bring harm to you. But even so, this inferior person or this situation, this whatever the description is, to you it seems that there might be an aspect of harmlessness, and that is enticing to you because it allows you to think, oh, maybe I can try this or delight in this or give it another shot. It looks so small and weak. What could possibly go wrong? But that's when you make the mistake. Remember from your past experience what you've gone through with this particular situation, this person, and don't try to change it into something else. We might like things to change, of course, but we have to be completely sober and honest with ourselves. So we have to regard this situation or this person as dangerous. And if we don't, then we're going to lend that situation or that person power, and they will have influence over us. It's very important to resist this particular situation or this person so they don't gain influence over us that's in a negative, dark way. So this does talk about the idea of heaven and earth as well. In some circumstances, it's okay for the weak to come and meet the strong. But in general, it's better if the strong come to the weak. Heaven and earth, though, join together, and all elements are brought together in order. Now, if something is predestined or fated to be joined, if two people are fated to be joined and mutually beneficial or dependent for one another, then it's okay that they meet one another halfway. But still, it's very important for you to remember what particular influence this person and you had upon each other. Was it positive or was it negative? The coming together must be free of any hidden or ulterior motives. Otherwise, harm will result. So you have to be really clear with yourself about if you're going to come together with this person and situation, what is the purpose? Is there a hidden agenda? You have a particular motive that you want to accomplish. Is it a selfish motive? Is it a motive that is completely based on a wishful thinking, oh, things might change kind of idea? Be aware not to fool yourself. Okay, that's very important from this hexagram. Okay, and the other idea is that you have to be like the king or the queen, the ruler, by setting things in motion by means of your strong will, your steadfastness, by virtue of your willingness to follow what truly is strengthening for you. Not what you hope could be, but what you know is true from your own inner being. Very important. And like the wind on the earth, the ruler takes note of the conditions in their kingdom. Okay? You have to take note because your kingdom could be this other person or this situation. This is your kingdom. This is the extension of your experience. And you have to be very thoughtful and sensitive to what this particular situation or what this particular person brings into your kingdom. Do they bring goodness? Or do they bring struggle, confrontation, negativity? Answer those questions and you'll be much further along toward making the best decisions. So being steadfast and being in tune with your inner light and your inner guidance, your higher self, your inner wisdom will help you. You'll be in touch with that divine wisdom that will set things in motion by means of an unceaseless directive, like the wind. what is directing you and compelling you to move forward in the best direction will guide you, and it is your duty, and it's very important right now to be in touch with that inner wisdom that will definitely guide you in the right direction. So that is the message for this particular reading, coming to meet danger, negativity, recognizing that's very important for you to not buy into the idea that what may be coming back into your life is actually not healthy for you. Be very cautious, be very aware, and protect yourself. Those are the messages I have for you today. I hope they're helpful. If you would like to schedule a personal reading, the information about those is under the description box. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.